Do I really have enough money to retire? Frequently asked questions by folks of a certain age, whether you're a business owner or an employee or even a CEO. Sounds like $1 million sounds like a lot of money to most folks, but $1 million might not be a retirement plan. It might just be a dollar figure. So do you have enough money to retire? The real question is, how much dependable income can your savings produce after taxes, as long as you and your spouse shall live? Hi, my name is John Checki. I've been making investments since 1964. No kid. Co-founder of Checki Financial. And for about 40 years, I've been helping folks determine what they needed to retire, teaching them and showing them and helping them generate enough income to really enjoy their lifestyle and further adjust to what it really and truly means, not only to have enough money, but to have enough interest to continue. So when people ask, do I have enough money to retire? They usually expect one number. Unfortunately, retirement does not work that way. Two families can have the exact amount of money and have a completely different story. If you drive really cool cars and have high expenses and live in a really cool neighborhood that costs a lot of money to live there, and you live in a high income tax state, gee willikers, $1 million there might not be the same as $1 million here. We live in Texas. So in terms of do you have enough money to retire, it really goes back to really one ginormous question. It begins with spending. How much money do you normally spend? We have a home that's only about 3,240 square feet, mortgage payment, utilities, and what have you. And it costs about $5,000 a month to run that whole household. That includes yard fella, a wonderful lady that cleans our house also a couple times a month, plus the pool guys and utilities and internet and telephone and the like. And then let's talk about travel. If you're healthy enough and curious enough to actually leave home and go someplace else, what kind of a budget do you need to have those travel expenses covered? Not just covered, but really enjoy that travel. I've been to Hawaii a couple times, and first time I went, didn't have that much money, and it wasn't that much fun. Second time I went, I had a lot more money. Third time I went, I really had a lot more money. And it was a lot more fun because we could do whatever the heck we wanted to, go to nice restaurants. And I think I even had a $65 hamburger one day. And was it worth it? It's worth it just to say I had a $65 hamburger one day. Also, in terms of spending, let's talk about healthcare for a second. In my case, last year, I had a colonoscopy, and I discovered that I had an enlarged prostate. How did I discover that? Well, as fate would have it, my bladder was blocked. That path was blocked. So what did I have to do? I went to the emergency room, had a catheter installed, which is not the most pleasant after-party situation when it comes to a colonoscopy. And over the next 2.5 months, I went through or had 3 different prostate reduction operations, went through 13 to 14 catheters, and son of a gun, eventually on August 6th, 2025, I once again could urinate with a minimum fuss and bother. So what kind of expenses do you have? There's a lot more bearing on how much money you actually do need to retire. Now let's talk about income for a second. Right now, Social Security seems to be on kind of shaky ground. God only knows how that will work long term. There are some solutions associated with that. But let's just say you're receiving Social Security, both you and your spouse. I'm using the term husband and wife because those are the terms from which I am familiar. One of you dies, suddenly there's less Social Security income. Let's translate that into English. Let's say one of you collects about $4,000 a month. The other person collects about $1,200 a month. And depending upon when the spouse with the lower amount of income that has started to take Social Security, depends upon her or his percentage of Social Security. So talk to your advisor about that. Do some calculations. Go look that up. Or truly, you can give Checki Financial a call. I'll be happy to help walk you through that. Then let's try and think about after you provided income. How do we go about that? Let's talk about that. I like to know about how much money people want a month, then come up with a plan to go ahead and distribute that money to your checking account, which I'll call your household account on a regular basis, and then stress that. Now, years ago, Moshe Maileski literally gave a speech on sequence of returns, scared the life out of people in the audience because it says, gee willikers, if you retired in a particular year, thinks 2008 or 2000 or 73, 74, and market went from here to here, how would that affect your income? Well, if you have guaranteed income, it doesn't affect it at all. If you have buckets of cash, going ahead and making sure that you have enough money so you don't have to panic, sell your assets that are generating income for you, it's helpful to have a cash reserve. Not sure how you feel about cash reserves, but I'm here to tell you, having a cash reserve is a mighty fine thing to have, especially for emergencies and opportunities. And when you pull money out of your IRAs, all kidding aside, son of a Brussels sprout, it actually kicks up, and I do mean kicks up, your Medicare premiums. What does that mean in everyday life? So when you withdraw money from your IRA or your 401k, you have increased income. Social Security and Medicare take a look at what your income is. And for your Medicare, not to be confused with Medicaid, but for your Medicare, if you have additional income, holy guacamole, your Medicare premium goes up, and it looks like your Social Security payment went down. Your Social Security payment probably did not go down. More likely, your Medicare premium went up. Therefore, that deduction went up. Therefore, the net amount of money you received that particular month, holy cow, went down. So again, in terms of retirement, and do you have enough money? This particular pen was given to me by a particular sponsor when I went to their luncheon, and it was free. And it has free refill inside it, and gee, it writes really nicely. Now, let's say instead you bought yourself a really cool pen that cost, God bless America, more money than most folks normally pay for a pen. And you drive really cool cars and some other stuff like that. And then you discover that when you get those things fixed, it costs a lot more than it does to get your less expensive car fixed. You might have a problem. So what we do at Checki Financial is we try and plan our emergencies 3 years in advance. And that sounds funny to you, except we ask you, tell me about the last time you had your roof repaired. Tell me about how old your car is. Tell me about your dogs and cats. And tell me about your health history. Tell me about your family's health history. Tell me truly how you are doing physically, mentally, and emotionally, so we can better chart out in advance what the heck is going to go on with you and your future and your money needs. As co-founder of Checki Financial, we help people on a daily basis determine what works best for them. Plus, we do asset allocation for them, plus generate income for them on a regular basis, plus do our best to minimize income tax, whether that's state or federal income tax. And we like plan vacations in advance for folks too, letting folks know to have fun and still have money involves travel, recreation, love, family. Most of us believe in God, and how convenient it is to have community within that. Tomorrow morning, I'll be going to see Romeo's retired old man eating out, which is a Bible group. Love those folks to death. It's great fun doing that. Plus, I'll be going to a seminar tomorrow on more advanced income retirement planning. This is John Checki, co-founder of Checki Financial, urging you to hit like and subscribe, and stay tuned for additional emails on, do I have enough money to retire? Again, have fun, stay well.